Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a piece of technology you probably use every single day, your computer.
Have you ever really stopped to think about what's happening inside that box? I mean, it feels like magic, doesn't it? You click your mouse and poof, a whole world just appears on your screen. But what is really going on in there when you click and type and create?
Well, it's not magic. And the best way to understand it is to imagine your computer isn't just a box of wires, but a super busy, really efficient digital office. Seriously, picture it, a whole team of specialists, each with their own job. This one analogy, it's going to make everything make sense.
Okay, so let's start with the big boss, the office manager. Every office needs one, right? The person calling all the shots, making all the big decisions. Well, in your computer, that's the central processing unit. You've probably heard of it, the CPU.
The CPU is, without a doubt, the brain of the whole operation. It's the part that does all the heavy lifting, all the thinking. When you tell your computer to do something, the CPU is what processes that command and tells all the other parts what they need to do.
Now, what's super cool is how this manager splits up its work. Think of it like having two main departments. You've got the Arithmetic Logic Unit, or ALU. That's your accounting department, just crunching numbers and making comparisons all day. Then you have the Control Unit, the CU. That's the supervisor, pointing and saying, you, do this, you, send that data over there. It directs the whole flow of traffic.
Okay, so we have our manager. But even the best manager in the world needs a place to work, right? A desk to spread out all the immediate stuff they're dealing with. In our digital office, that desk is the RAM.
So RAM, that stands for Random Access Memory, is basically your computer's short-term memory. Is super fast, and its job is to hold everything you're actively working on right now. You know, that application you've got open, that document you're typing in, all those browser tabs you refuse to close, that's all sitting on the desk in RAM.
Now here's the most important thing to know about RAM. It's what we call volatile. That's a fancy word that just means it's temporary. As soon as the power goes off, everything on that desk is wiped clean. It's like the cleaning crew comes in at night and tidies up. And that is why you have to save your work. When you hit save, you're literally telling the computer, hey, take this off my temporary desk and put it away for safekeeping. And where is that safekeeping place? Well, that brings us to the next part of our office, the massive long-term filing cabinet. In computer terms, we just call this storage.
So when it comes to these filing cabinets, you've basically got two flavors. The old school one is the hard disk drive, or HDD. Think of it like a tiny record player with a spinning disc and an arm that reads the data. It's mechanical. They're great because you can get a ton of space for not a lot of money, but then there's the new hotness, the solid-state drive, or SSD. There are no moving parts here. It's all electronic, using flash memory. And the difference is, wow, it is so much faster. If you've ever used a computer that boots up in just a few seconds, that's almost definitely an SSD at work. All right, so we've got our office set up. A manager, a desk, a filing cabinet. But how do we talk to them? How do we give them work to do, and how do we see what they've done? Simple. We need input and output devices.
It's really straightforward. Input devices are how you get information into the computer. Your keyboard, your mouse, your microphone, you're inputting commands and data. And then output devices are how the computer gets information back out to you. The monitor shows you what's happening, the speakers give you sound, you get the picture. Okay, we've met all the players. Now for the fun part. Let's put it all together and see the entire office spring into action for something you do all the time, just opening an app. So watch this. 1. You click the icon with your mouse. That's the input. 2. The CPU, our office manager, gets the message. Hey, they want to open this app. 3. The CPU zips over to the filing cabinet, your storage drive, and grabs the files for that application. 4. It brings those files back and spreads them out on the desk. That's the RAM, so it can work with them. And finally, 5, what's on the desk gets displayed on your monitor. That's the output. And the crazy part? All of that happens in like the blink of an eye. So when you boil it all down, a computer really isn't just one thing. It's a whole team. It's a system where every single one of these hardware components has a critical job, and they all have to work together perfectly to get anything done.
And that kind of leaves us with a really interesting question to think about, doesn't it? As all these parts get smaller and faster and sometimes even merge together, what does that digital office of the future even look like? What happens when the manager, the desk, and the entire filing cabinet can literally fit on the head of a pin? It's pretty wild to think about.